Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Refresh Flow. Special welcome to Derwent from Devon. Lovely to have you with us today. We are going to start on our backs, but actually before we come on our backs, if you have anything like a brick or a thick book, it might come in handy later in the class, but it's not essential. So yeah, if you'd like to come to lying on your backs, completely extended. I'm hoping that you're warm enough, but for this beginning part of the class, you could cover yourself in a blanket. You could wriggle around a little bit in order to be able to eventually come into a degree of stillness, so you can really drop into sensation in the body. And taking a moment to notice how you feel this morning. Lying here, dropping your weight into the floor, into the support beneath you. What does it feel like to breathe this morning? Where do you notice the breath in your body? And for a moment, dropping your attention into the soles of your feet. And slowly, slowly allowing your attention to move to your toes, the tops of your feet, your ankles, your calf muscles, and shin bones. So not thinking, just allowing sensation to arise. The soft skin behind your knees, and your kneecaps, and the back of your thighs, the front of your thighs, the inside and the outside seams of your thighs, and your buttocks, and the right and the left side of your pelvis, and the back of your pelvis, and the front of your pelvis. Feeling now the whole of the lower body. All sensation in the lower body. And coming up the front of your abdomen. The left and the right sides of your abdomen. And the back of your abdomen. The back of your body. Maybe noticing internal sensations of your digestive organs. And the back of your ribs. Left and right side of your ribs. And the front of your rib cage. So you feel the whole of your rib cage. And the respiratory, circulatory organs inside your ribs, heart and lungs. Collarbones, shoulders. Allowing your attention to move all the way down your arms, past your elbows to your wrists and hands. Can you feel a tingling in the palms of your hands and your fingertips? And coming back to your collarbones and your throat and neck. And then feeling the whole head, the weight of your head on the mat, the tissues of your face, sensations around the eyes and inside the mouth. And take a few moments now to feel the whole body alive this morning, sensate. The whole body breathing. The whole body releasing its weight into the floor and allowing the floor to come up to meet you. And coming to the top of a full breath in and pausing and exhaling with your mouth open. And doing that 2 more times. One more time. And coming to the weight of your head in particular and seeing if you can feel it even heavier, as if it's being pulled through the back of your head, through the floor, through the crust of the earth. And then take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, slowly move your head to the left, but really allowing the weight to press you down, so you feel a bit of a massage in the back of your head and the side of your head. And then breathing in, you come back to the front. Very slow, so less is more here. And breathe out, turn to the right. And I'm going to leave you for a few moments to simply move your head with the breath as slowly as you can and as deliciously as you can. Maybe isolating the vertebrae of the neck, so you feel very sensitively into sensations in the neck and the throat. Releasing in the jaw. And really softening the whole of the inside of your mouth, the palate of your mouth, the tongue, the throat. And then coming back to a neutral position. And taking your feet, your heels, so that they're mat distance apart. Now, some of you have done the fascia wobble with me and some of you haven't. So the idea here is to be as loose and as relaxed in the body as possible, as if your skeleton is just kind of really floppy. And you're going to press your heels into the mat and begin to rock over your heels. So it's not point your toes, pull your toes towards you with intention like that. It's just simply pressing your heels into the mat and rocking over them. And it can take a while to work out what this is about, but basically we're looking to allow a ripple of movement to come all the way from the heels right up through the top of the head, so the whole body is rippling. And we're accessing the fascia, the connective tissue, and giving it a lovely hydrate. So you should feel the back of your head rubbing on your mat, the backs of your hands and shoulders. And keep breathing naturally and keep your fascia wobble flowing. Maybe you can feel your internal organs having a little bit of a move around inside you. And it can give you a little bit of a cramp in your calf if you're not used to this. Keep going. Keep going as long as works for you. Feel your skin. A little bit longer. If you stop, that's okay. See if you can really let go even more so that this is effortless. And then stop and enjoy the fizz. What do you feel now? Isn't that great? And then bending your knees up, soles of your feet on the floor, about hip distance apart. And taking your hands behind your head, with the tips of your thumbs in the little indentation at the bottom of the skull, just before you kind of feel into the neck. Please, please be gentle with your necks. What we're about to do involves no strain whatsoever. Become really heavy in the shoulders. Weigh your head down into your hands. And on a breath in, begin to push into your feet and peel your pelvis, your spine, bone by bone off the mat. And allow your chin to rock back a bit. Pause at the top. And then as you breathe out, you come down bone by bone, but you begin to draw your elbows together, and you'll notice that your head softly lifts off the floor and your neck and maybe your upper back, shoulders. No strain. On the breath in, you lift the pelvis, you open your elbows, drop your head. And as you breathe out, slowly come down with the spine, drawing your elbows together. Can you continue like this in your own rhythm, imagining that you are a butterfly? You end up looking in between your thighs, possibly. Really caring for the neck. And can you take 2 more full rounds, please? The slower, the better. Allow the breath to move you. Until you're ready to settle your head down on the mat, arms by your sides. Take a moment to feel the body. Then draw your knees in towards you. Have a little bit of a roll around, a little bit of a massage over your lower back. Make sure you do that in both directions. And then holding on to the right knee only or over the shins, slide the left leg away. And take a little moment here. We're having a very slow start to the practice today. Take a little moment to push through the left heel and to feel into the right hip. So this might involve a little bit of movement, a little bit of circling into that hip socket. So there's no right or wrong here. This is intuitive, following your feeling. How does your right hip feel this morning? Keep pushing through that left heel. And then draw your right knee a little bit further in towards you, chin towards the chest. And take a breath in. And with the breath out, lift your knee and your head towards each other. Breathing in here. And then breathing out, releasing your head. And bending up the left knee, sole of the foot on the floor. Take the right ankle over the left knee. And it may be that this is enough for you. If you haven't practiced with me before, I don't necessarily know your body. I don't know what you're capable of. So only practice within your own edge. But if it is available to you, lift your legs in towards you. Take the right hand through the gap in between your legs and interlace it with the left hand either behind the left thigh or over the shin. And then flex the right foot, pull the toes towards the knee as you release the left foot. If your chin is jutting up towards the ceiling, place something under your head and explore the length in the back of your neck. And breathe as you draw your legs in towards you, feeling more richness of sensation in the right hip, and maybe down the outside of the right thigh, the iliotibial band. Very soft in the face. Let's not make any strain here. From the collarbones up the throat, neck to the face, keep it soft. Take a full breath in, and as you breathe out, lift your head and your legs towards each other so you curl yourself into a little package. Take another breath in here, and then breathe out, release. Release your hands, and keep the left foot on the floor as you grab hold of the right foot. If you're able to, you're holding onto the right foot with the sole of the foot to the ceiling in half happy baby. If that's just not going to happen, because we are looking to have our shins vertical, hold the leg lower down, even behind the knee. And some people might like to hold the foot with both hands. And you can allow the left knee to either flop out to the side or even slide away. And please don't be rigid here. Move around a little bit in your half happy baby. Feel the juiciness in the right hip. And smile and soften the face. Breathe. If your left leg is straight, try pushing the heel away again. We're getting into the psoas muscle. And release in the roof of your mouth. Breathe. And then taking your right foot with your left hand and beginning to draw it over to the left. So you're rocking over to the left. Your right arm is extended out to the right. And you might find you're looking towards the right hand. But again, I'm quite happy for you to rock between a half happy baby and a twist as you feel your way. So I'm still really stiff this morning. I don't know about you. feel your way into this half happy baby and a lazy twist coming over to the left. And maybe at some point you stay in that twist, releasing down through that right shoulder blade, maybe using your left hand on the right knee to apply a little bit of pressure. What do you feel now? How's your breath? Can you melt a little? And then bringing your head back to neutral, rolling onto your back again, drawing your right knee in towards you. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, head to knee again. Take a breath in here. And then extend the leg along the mat as you rest your head down. And just take a moment to notice how the right side of the body and the left side of the body might feel a bit different. And then from here, bringing your left knee in towards you, pushing that right heel away, and having a little bit of an exploration in that left hip, a little bit of a stir around. Breathing fully, breathing freely. And if you're stirring, make sure that you stir in the opposite direction. And then drawing your left knee in towards you, breathe in. And on the breath out, gently lift your head towards your knee. Take a breath in here. And then release your head. And bend up the right knee foot on the floor. Place the left ankle over the right knee. Either stay here, lift your legs towards you, or thread the left hand through the gap in between your legs. Either hold on behind the right thigh or over the shin. Your right foot can be nice and relaxed, and you could flex the left foot. Please place something under your head if your chin is jutting up. I think it's quite interesting that if your chin is jutting up, it's to do with the psoas muscle, which connects the inside of the thigh bone to a lower part of the spine. It comes up the spine, so it connects the lower and the upper body. It's our fight or flight muscle, and it can get very, very tight. Draw your legs in towards you, chest gently in towards the chin. And soften in the face and the throat. And it can feel entirely different on each side. Breathe. Taking a full breath in. And then on the exhale, gently wrap yourself into a little package, head to legs. And take a breath in here. Lovely stretch, isn't it? And then breathe out, release the hands, the head, the right foot down. And bring yourself into half happy baby on the left. Remember that lower leg is vertical, so only hold on to your foot if you can. Drawing the knee down towards the armpit. And decide with your right knee, will it just flop out to the side? Do you want to straighten that leg and push through the heel? Maybe a bit off the floor. Maybe you hold your left foot with both hands. All is good. And have a little breathe and a little move around here. A little bit of an exploration into the left hip, groin. And then taking your right hand to the left foot, extending your left arm out to the side, and having a little bit of a roll from side to side before you commit to a twist. Feel the way, feel your way lazily. What I'm really keen for all of us to do in this practice today, as in all practices actually, is to indulge in the simplicity but also the richness of sensation. What do you feel in the body and where do you feel it? And that can involve throwing a light on obstruction, resistance. It can be pleasurable. It can be an invitation to let go. At some point coming right over to the right for a twist, looking over to your left hand as you release in the left shoulder blade, left shoulder. Maybe your right hand is on your left knee, but don't strain in any way here, and breathe. And all of the love and care we're giving to our hips, our spine, the legs will come in to benefit our later flow, the hotter part of the practice. Easing our way in this morning. And then gently bring your head back to neutral. Roll onto your back again. Draw your left knee in towards you as you push the right heel away. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, head to knee. Breathe in here. And then release your head down. And draw the right knee in towards you for a moment. We'll come into full happy baby. I'm going to take your knees as far apart as they'll go, soles of your feet to the ceiling. And it may be that you hold behind the knees, the thighs, or maybe you can reach your feet. And it's fine if your lower back peels off the floor. You might want to explore that. You might want to try having it really pinned down, pressing your elbows into the inside of your legs, or lifting your bottom slightly. And it's a really lovely stretch for all the tissues of the lower back here. If you have any lower back stiffness, this is really good. You can rock from side to side in your happy baby. Long in the back of the neck and really soft and delicate in the face and throat. Breathe. Encouraging your knees down towards your armpits to the floor. Not the most dignified pose in the repertoire. Breathe. Come to the top of a full breath in, pause, and breathe out mouth open. Take 2 more like that, please, if you want. And then drawing your knees in towards you and towards each other, having a little hug here, little squeeze, a little rock from side to side. And if you can, sliding your hands to hold onto your feet, so you're really in quite a tight package. Take a breath in, and on the breath out, very softly, again, lift your head to your knees. And take a full breath in here. And then breathe out, release the whole body flat on the mat, just to acknowledge and to soak up the sensations that the practice has brought to you so far. And when you're ready, joining me in an all fours position, kneeling, spreading your fingers, wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And just for a moment, come to a sense of the length of the back of your neck. The whole of this week, the classes have been focusing on the neck and the throat. So I don't want you to be in too much of a hurry to fling your chin up or down. Just notice the throat and the neck here. And then on an inhale, begin to lift your chin, opening the throat, and notice how your lower back begins to dip, your tummy begins to dip to the floor. Maybe a dip in between the shoulder blades. Begin to breathe out and follow that breath out by bringing your chin in towards the chest. The tailbone will tuck down and you push the back of your ribs up, navel to the spine. Let's be really slow and methodical in this very familiar movement. Coming into cow as you lift your chin. And coming into your cat as you draw your chin into your chest. Allow the breath to move you so you feel everything, your skin, the vertebrae, other parts of your body responding. And if you really condense your abdominal muscles towards your spine, on the exhale, drawing your navel up and in, this is a lovely way of engaging the core now. Hold it and feel that compression, that condensing before you open out again on the inhale. And the next time you exhale, with that navel in towards the spine, come back to a child's pose. Keep your head in between your upper arms and take a couple of breaths here, pressing into your fingertips. And then breathe in, draw yourself up to your cow. Curl your toes under and breathe out, come to a soft downward dog. Take 2 or 3 breaths in and out here, feeling into the body as you bend your knees. Take a full breath in and then breathe out, drop your knees. Sit back into your child's pose. Inhale to all fours and lift your chin, really dip in between the shoulder blades. Exhale, scoop up chin to chest, back to child. Inhale, come to all fours and lift your chin. Curl your toes under, exhale, downward dog. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Take a breath in. Breathe out, drop your knees. Come back to child. Breathing into all fours and lift your chin. Breathe out, scoop up, back to child. Breathe into all fours, lift the chin. Curl your toes under, downward dog. And now we stay in this downward dog and we begin to firm it up a little bit. So really press into the knuckles of your hands, your fingers. You can bring your armpits a little bit forwards and then take the tops of your thighs up and back. Breathe here. 5 deep breaths. As if you're breathing with the whole body. If you like to breathe Ujjayi, a little bit of constriction at the back of the throat, that would be lovely from now on. Breathing in, ripple forwards to plank, shoulders over your wrists. And breathe out here. Take another breath in. And then exhale, drop your knees and slowly roll down over the front of your body until your forehead is on the mat. Inhale, roll your shoulders to your ears and then peel the chest up just a little bit. Feel the back muscles activating and exhale, come back down. Breathe into all fours. Exhale, downward dog. And now really firm up into the arms, hug the muscles to the bones and press into that left foot a bit more. And now lift up the right leg and bend the knee immediately. And begin to stir big circles with that right knee. You'll notice that you'll start buckling maybe in the left shoulder. So try and really firm it up. Really big circles here. And then reverse the direction of those circles. Really stirring into the hip again, but now with a lot more going on in the body, a lot more strength. And then on a breath in, lift your right leg right up behind you. And as you breathe out, bring your right knee forwards for pigeon. If you've got any pain in your right knee, please come onto your back. And we've already taken pigeon on the back, the right ankle over the left knee, draw the legs in towards you. If you're with me on your front, look over your left shoulder to check the legs straight. You can lift the knee and slide the leg a bit further back. And then pressing into both feet, lift yourself up a moment. Have a little bit of a move around here. And then slide your way back down again. Wonderful. Hands about level with the front knee. Take a breath in, roll the shoulders back and open the chest. And on the breath out, from the heart, come all the way down. Forehead to the floor. Chin into your chest as you ripple your way up. Inhale. And exhale, come down. One more time, inhale. You can really feel the squeeze of the shoulder blades. And exhale, for a moment, come down and sleep in your pigeon. Rest your head on your hands. And soften the whole body. Particularly inside the mouth and behind the eyes, the back of the ribs. Beautiful. And then inhaling, coming back up again. And here you have a choice. You could stay exactly as you are. You could come back down to sleep, or take a breath in. And as you breathe out, lift your left foot towards your head. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, lift. We're just saying hello to the quadriceps, the front, the left hip flexor. Do that one more time. Beautiful. And then everybody joining me with the arms straight. We're going to come into a little bit of a maneuver. Walk both hands to your left and swing the right foreleg behind you and come up for Parigasana gate pose. So your left big toe should be in line with your right knee. And if you've got sensitive knee, you could place something under the knee. Beautiful. Take your left hand on the thigh and inhale, lift up the right arm. Engaging your abdominal muscles here to support you. Exhale, come over a little bit to the left. Feel the side stretch. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, come over. It's not easy, Parigasana. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, come over. And take a few breaths in here. I would really recommend tilting the pelvis back. This will help engage the pelvic floor and the abdominal muscles to support your lower back. Breathe into the right side of the body. It's funny, this pose, when I don't practice it for a while, which is like now, it feels really alien, but it can become really an accessible, lovely pose if you do it regularly. Inhale, straighten up. And then exhale, take your right hand down to the floor and lift your left arm up. And then bring it over your left ear. And this may be where you want to stay, or you might like to lift up the left leg, push through the heel and have a little bit of a stretch. Not for everybody. Keep your core strength. Feel the whole of the left side of the body. Take one more breath in and then release the foot and take your left hand to your hip. I want you to look down and check that your right wrist is directly underneath your shoulder. And you might want to watch me first in case you don't want to join in with this. I'm going to push into the right hand and slide the right leg out in front of me and then lift up the left arm. It's like a belly of the dragon, I think this is called. Quite a lot of strength in the upper body. Take a full breath in and then come back the way you came. Take both hands out in front of you and come back into your pigeon for a moment. We're just transitioning here. Take a breath in and then roll onto your right buttock and bring the left leg over. For a little bit of a twist. If you're all like kinky and falling over to one side, release the right leg out in front of you. Wrap your right elbow around the left knee and hug the knee in. Inhale, lift up the left arm and exhale. Take a little twist to the left. Should be able to feel both sitting bones. Drop into both shoulders. One more breath in. As you breathe out, look to the front and allow your left knee to stack on top of the right knee. Again, if this is not going to happen, just take your right leg out in front of you and come into the half version. You should be able to feel both sitting bones stable. And then breathing and open your arms out wide. And wrap your right arm over the left for a little hug. And then breathe in, open out wide. And again, wrap the right arm over the left and bend the left elbow, either to draw the right arm across the body or to come into full eagle arms, Garudasana arms. Lifting your shoulders up and sinking them down. Lifting your elbows and hands up and away from the face. And take a few moments here. Can you become very, very soft in the face and keep sliding the shoulder blades down the back? And what sensations do you feel in the lower body right now? It's absolutely fine to wriggle around a little bit to find the juice. One more breath in. And then as you breathe out, release. And just come down and forwards a moment if that feels good to you. And then gently untangling and bringing yourself to a downward dog. And rippling forwards to plank, inhale. Exhale, drop your knees and either roll all the way over the front of the body or drop your chest and your chin towards the floor with your bottom up and sticking out. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then from here, inhale, slide your knees away, chest comes forwards. And roll yourself up into a little cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward dog. Beautiful. Now we're really firming up the arms again, firming up the right leg and lifting the left leg up and bending the knee to peel open that left hip. Notice that you might start slumping in the right shoulder and begin to draw really big circles with that left knee. Breathing fully and then reversing the direction of the circles. And on your next breath in, lifting the leg up high behind you and looking between your hands and bringing the knee forwards for pigeon. Remember, you can come onto your back, left ankle over the right knee. Look over your right shoulder to slide the right leg behind you. Please tolerate no pain in the left knee whatsoever. You can also flex this left foot, and that helps engage the tissues of the knee to protect it. And then pressing into your feet and your hands for a moment, lift up, have a little bit of a stir around before you settle yourself back down again for your pigeon. Roll the shoulders back. And on a breath in, open your heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And breathe out, come down. Lead from the heart, forehead comes to the mat. Breathing in, ripple yourself open again. And breathe out, come down. One more time, breathe in. And breathe out, come down to sleep a moment. Hands under the forehead. And soften the whole body if you're able to. Or at least notice where you're holding on. Notice the obstruction. Yoga is an art of noticing more and more subtlety. That is one of the joys of it for me. Noticing more and more subtlety is completely enlivening, completely invigorating, I find. And then gently coming back up again. Straight arms. Remember, you don't have to do this bit. We're going to lift the back foot. Inhale, exhale, head towards the foot. Inhale, release. Exhale, head towards the foot. Inhale, release. Exhale, head towards the foot. Lovely. And then release. Bring both hands around to the right to swivel your way slowly into your Parigasana gate pose. Right big toe in line with the left knee. Right hand on the thigh. Incidentally, the right foot could either be pointing directly forwards or at an angle or right towards the end of your mat. That entirely depends on how you feel in the hip right now. I'm not going to tell you where you have to be. Feel it, and then lift up the left arm. Full inhale and exhale, come over to the right. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, come over. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, come over. And stay now for a few breaths. Remember that slight tilt of the pelvis, that lift up from your pubic bone, pelvic floor. Breathe. What do you feel in the left side of the body? This right leg needs to be really strong. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take your left hand to the floor and lift up the right arm. Inhale. Bring it over your ear. Exhale. So you're really pressing through the right foot as you reach through the right fingertips. And this may be where you want to stay. Or you might want to pour your weight into the left hand and lift the right leg. Pushing through the heel, having a lovely strong stretch here. One more breath in. Exhale, release, right hand to your hip. And look down to check that your right wrist is directly under the shoulder. You don't have to do this part, but if you are going to, you slide the left foot forwards and lift up the right arm, and you really push your pelvis forwards and breathe. One more breath in. And then exhale, come back the way you came. Bring both hands forwards and briefly come into that pigeon on the left. Only as a transition, in order to then slide onto the left buttock and bring the right foot over. Remember, you can release the left leg forwards. You need to feel both sitting bones. Left elbow around the knee. Inhale, lift up the right arm, and exhale, find your little twist to the right. Feel the body. Releasing the shoulders and the throat and the jaws. One more full breath in. And then look back to the front, breathe out. And stack your right knee on top of the left knee. Again, if you need to release the left leg forwards, please do. And take a moment to feel into the sitting bones, that support, that earthiness. And breathe in, open your arms out wide. And give yourself a hug, left arm over the right. And Anna Clayton has miraculously turned into Becky Whittle. Breathe in, open wide. And breathe out again, left arm over the right. Bend that right elbow to draw the left arm across the body. You might stay here or come into full eagle arms, Garudasana arms. Have a little bit of a wriggle, shoulders up and down, elbows and hands up and away from the face, and then settle in for a few breaths. Stay very, very close to the breath and to sensation. Where can you soften? Where can you let go? Such a tendency to grasp, to cling, to push ourselves when we don't need to. The yoga practice develops and becomes more and more subtle, more and more advanced, the less we try. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it's so true. Let go. Let go of any sense of a goal, of achievement. And take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, release. Take a moment to feel the body. And meet me in a downward dog. Hope you're all right. We are coming to standing now, believe it or not. It's taken us an hour this morning. Take a full breath in your downward dog. Pause at the top and exhale with your mouth open. And take 2 more like that. And then ripple forwards to plank, inhale. Come down one of the ways that we have already, or if you want to increase your strength, come down straight as a stick and hover for a moment, your upper arms parallel with the floor. And from there, push into the heels of your hands into an upward dog. So only your hands and feet are touching the mat. You could equally be on your belly and peel up into a cobra like we did in the earlier versions. Whichever you're in, take a full breath in and lift your heart up into your throat. And then breathe out, push yourself back to a downward dog. Beautiful. And now looking in between your hands, walk, step or jump your feet forwards. And push through your feet to come all the way up, palms together. And then breathe out, hands to your heart. And just take a moment here, maybe eyes closed, to feel your verticality. Breathing and lift up again. Maybe you take your pelvis forwards a little bit here. Strong core, straighten, breathe out and come all the way down. Fingers to the floor or to your shins. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, down the spine. And inhale, straight legs, lift your heart, long spine. And exhale, draw yourself down, navel to your spine, chin to your chest. Inhale, come up again halfway. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step your left leg behind you and bring the knee down. Your front knee should be over your front heel. And bring your hands to the front knee. And this may be where you want to stay. Maybe where you want to stay. Absolutely fine. Whatever you're, in this version, you should be feeling an opening up the left leg and front hip bone here, the muscles. Or you might like to take your left hand down and lift up the leg behind you, sweeping your right hand to pull the left foot in. Looking over your right shoulder. That may be the version you want to come to, or maybe you're able to take both hands to that foot. Maybe even flex the foot, draw the shoulders back and open the chest. A little bit of a wobble. Remember to draw the tailbone down, lift the pubic bone and breathe it open. You might stay here. Or from the heart space, you might begin to pour the weight forwards. Open throat. Take a couple of breaths, whichever version you're in. One more breath in. And then gently release the left hand down. Release the left foot. Curl the toes under and lift the knee. And come into a little twist. It should feel quite free after what you've just done. Breathe it open. One more breath in. As you breathe out, look down, right hand comes down. Lift your heart as you push back through that back heel and marinate a bit more in the hips here. Take a full breath in. Breathe out as you bend in that back knee and gently step forwards. Breathe into flat back. Breathe out, fold. Breathe into flat back. And step your right foot behind you, bring the knee down. Remember your left knee over the ankle, hands to the knee. Absolutely fine. If this is where you want to stay, this is great. Or you might like to take the right hand down, lift up the right foot and sweep the left hand around. There's the opposite hand to foot to draw the heel in towards your buttock. Looking over the left shoulder. This may be where you want to stay. These are deep stretches. Or maybe you take both hands to that right foot. Maybe you can flex it, rolling the shoulders back, draw the shoulder blades together, open heart. You need core stability here. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you begin to lean forwards. Don't stop breathing. Smile. One more breath in. And then gently release. Right hand comes down. Curl under the right toes. Lift the knee and come into a little twist to the left. How free and open does that feel now? Breathe it. Take a full breath in. And then bring your hand down. Take a moment in your runner's lunge. Open heart. Roll the shoulders back. And join me in a downward dog, please. You can take your hands and your feet wide apart and breathe fully. And then looking in between your hands, step your right foot forwards and bring your left heel down. Incidentally, this is not a great time to tell you this, but you might want to have your brick handy, so sorry. Bring it to the far right-hand corner of your mat. Just have a look down at your feet so that your heels are more or less aligned. We're going to come into Utthita Trikonasana triangle pose. And then straighten the front leg. You can have your hand to the ankle, to the floor, to the shin, and just allow the left arm to dangle for now. And then breathe in and peel it open. This left hip, you could either peel it back, or depending on your body, you might find it rocks forwards. It's all good. And you can look down, you can look up. But I want you to really fire up the leg muscles so you feel that support, and then you can radiate in the upper body. Breathe. So this is a standing version of gate pose that we did on our knees. Can you feel it in the left side of the body? One more breath in. As you breathe out, left hand to your hip, bend into the right knee, and you might want to take your right hand onto the brick, or you might just prefer your fingertips on the floor. And I want you to check that your right foot is completely straight, and then just step your left foot in a little bit. And then begin to pour your weight forwards as your left leg comes off the floor. So we're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana half moon, and we'll start with the left hip dropping. So your back is parallel with the floor. Really feel the ground through that standing leg, the rebound, and push up from it. And maybe you can peel open the left hip. Breathe. Keep lifting from the inner thigh. Maybe you take your left arm up. And your gaze can be to the floor or up to the hand. And now breathe and feel the expansion in all directions. Push through that left heel. You can stay here, or you might like to play around with me and bend your left knee in towards the right knee and hold onto the ankle. So we've just prepared for this. And then begin to pull it out behind you, pushing into the hand as you pull. This is called Ardha Chandrasana Chapasana. Standing back bend balance. Breathe into it if you're here with me. One more breath in. And then can you very delicately step that left foot back? Look down that your front heel is now in line with the instep of your back foot, and windmill your way up to Warrior Two. And take a couple of breaths and keep it simple here. Really soft in the face. Notice the breath, it's a barometer of how you are. If your breath is compromised, you need to back out of the physical pose. Because I'm talking non-stop, my breath is definitely compromised. And then windmill the left arm over, both hands down around the front foot, lift the back heel, and meet me in a downward dog. Now I want to give you the option to have a little rest. You could rest in downward dog or drop your knees now for child pose. Just to gather the breath, to gather sensation before we take those poses to the other side. Come back to yourself. And then as you come to your downward dog, make sure if you're using your brick that it's to the left. And step your left foot forwards. Right heel comes down. Alignment is heel to heel. Begin to straighten in that left leg and then peel open right arm up. Really draw the muscles to the leg bones. as you draw that right shoulder blade on the back, and breathe. Remember, you can look down if you need to. Remember that right hip can either rock forwards or peel open. Can you radiate, especially in the upper body? Breathe. One more breath in. Hand to your hip, breathe out. Look to the left and bend into that knee. Check the left foot is completely straight. As you bring your left hand either to the floor or to a brick, and just pop that right foot in a little bit. I'm going to fall into the tree. And then begin to pour the weight forwards, floating the right leg up, and drop the hip initially so your back is parallel with the floor. And then pushing through the standing leg. Maybe you can begin to peel open that right hip. Keep lifting from the inner thigh, push through the heel. Maybe you lift up the right arm. And breathe here. Looking down or up. And it's fine to stay here or come out, come in again. Or maybe you'd like to join me for that strange Chapasana. Bring the right knee into the left to grab hold of your foot or ankle. And then slowly find your way back with that knee. Push, pulling on the ankle. So rather than pulling it out to the right, you're trying to pull it out behind you as much as possible. You bring yourself into a little bit of a back bend. Breathe. One more breath in. And then delicately, or as delicately as you can, join me in a warrior two. What fun. And breathe here. Heel to instep. Soft in the chest and shoulders. On an inhale, bring your hands to your hips and straighten the front leg. And turn to face the long end of your mat. Heels are out, toes are in. And you could have your knees bent here. Take a breath in and lift up and out of the pelvis. And then breathe out, lead with the heart and come down halfway. So you're really separating your sitting bones. Nice long spine. Full breath in and then come down a bit further. And this may be where you want to stay. I find it really helpful to allow the weight to pour into the front of the foot here. And then to keep lifting the tops of the thighs up and back. So the legs are working and the upper body is cascading, pouring out of the pelvis. You can release the arms, you can reach them underneath and through behind you. If you're finding this very difficult because of tight hamstrings, bend your knees. And come to some very deep breathing now. We're coming towards the end of the physical practice. And what we're really trying to do, amongst other things, is decompress the spine and create space in the lower back and the pelvis after that standing sequence. So take your attention there, take your breath into the pelvis and breathe it. One more full breath in. And a long breath out. And from your wide-angled forward fold, walk your way around into a downward dog. We're just transitioning to kneeling. Take a moment here and then drop your knees. And come to sitting on your heels for a moment to feel the body. Might even want to close your eyes here. Feeling the softness of your face, the brightness in your chest. And then you can slide your hands forwards to come onto your forearms for a moment. And I'd like to come back to a sense of the length in the back of the neck. And that softness inside the mouth, the throat. Breathe here a few breaths, very tender, very soft. And then gently lift your elbows to straighten the arms and bring yourself up. And I'd like to take a little movement with the breath called Prana Mudra, which should be a lovely release for the shoulders, but also a deeply restful thing to do. So if you have shoulder issues, you could simply hold your elbows here behind you, or your lower arms, or even your wrists. Otherwise, roll the shoulders back and see if you can clasp your hands behind you, squeezing the shoulder blades in. And what you're looking for here is to draw the hands past the tailbone down towards the floor, but without flaring your chest and ribs out. And then breathe in, lift the arms behind you. And breathe out, only come down so that your back is about parallel with the floor. And then release your hands onto your lower back. Beautiful. And then on a breath in, lift the arms again and then begin to rock forwards to take your forehead to the mat, bottom above the knees, and roll over the top of your head as you exhale, bringing your arms with you. Take a couple of breaths when you're here. Be gentle with your neck. And then we come back the way we came, very slowly, hands to your lower back as you lift your head off the floor. And then lift yourself up, arms out behind you. And release. Just release your hands for a moment, maybe circling the wrists. And we're going to do that a couple more times. Obviously you can do it faster, but it's nice to pick it apart like that. Especially now as we've worked the body fully. Want to really come more into the breath. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, draw your arms behind you. Exhale, come down, spine parallel with the floor. And drop your hands to the lower back. On the inhale, begin to lift your bottom as you lift your arms and you come to your forehead. And then exhale, roll over the top of your head, arms come with you. And take a couple of breaths here. And then slowly come back the way you came, hands to the lower back as you lift your head. And then lift all the way up, arms behind you. And release. And have a little bit of wrist love if you're feeling like I am right now. And we'll do that one more time, or you can sit breathing. It's up to you. Breathing in, arms out behind you. Breathing out, come down halfway. Release your hands to your lower back. And then begin to lift your bottom. Take your forehead to the mat and breathe all the way over the top of your head. Your arms come with you. Take a couple of breaths if this feels comfortable and the weight on your head is all right. Until you're ready to come back the way you came. And then we'll all meet, eyes closed, hands on the thighs, just feeling the body. Noticing the quality of the breath. Coming back to that awareness of the delicacy, the subtlety of all sensation. And coming to join me lying on your backs, please. Knees bent, soles of your feet on the floor, about hip distance apart. Feel the body. And I just want to do some very easy, gentle moving bridges just to release any residual tension in the back and free up the spine again. And you can either keep your arms down beside you or lift your arms over your head. I'm going to leave that to you. I'm going to keep my arms down beside me. On an inhale, begin to peel your back off the mat. You would lift your arms now if you're going to. Pause a moment and then exhale, bone by bone. Release the spine down and feel the back of your pelvis. Lovely and heavy, nuzzle into the mat. Take a few more in your own time. Make it really delicious. Make it just what you desire right now. And you might find that you come up and you want to stay up for a couple of breaths, maybe even interlace your hands and wrap your upper arms and shoulders under the body for a more expansive bridge. Please allow your chin to fall back rather than into the chest as you do this, and breathe fully. Absolutely fine to keep moving if you don't want to come into a static bridge. One more full breath in wherever you are. And then release yourself down bone by bone. And draw your knees into your chest. A little roll around either from side to side or in circles. Drop your knees to the left as you take your arms out in a T shape for a very brief twist, a very light, melty twist. Soften. And then bring your head to neutral, lift your knees up one at a time and come over the other side. Knees to the right, eyes to the left. Gentle twist. Let go and soften the face. Head back to neutral, bring your knees in. little bit of a hug. And I'd like to end, before we come into Shavasana, with that fascia wobble we did right at the beginning. Only if you want to. You might really hate it. If you're ready for Shavasana, make sure you're warm enough. Otherwise, heels about mat distance apart. Feel the whole body first. And then when you're ready, push the heels into the mat and begin to rock over them. Remember, it's a very fluid wobble, ripple. And of course, you can do this with a blanket over you as well. Can you free yourself up to allow the ripple to rise in waves up your body from the heels to the top of your head? Whole body vibrating, whole body alive with prana, life force. You can do this for as long as you like before you settle into resting fully. And as you fall into rest, as you fall into Shavasana, allow your attention to wander freely to sensation, to the breath, to the surface beneath you, the air on your skin. Don't miss anything. And you're welcome to stay for as long as you like, of course, resting. But if you feel like you'd like to move on with your day, beginning to breathe in a little bit deeper, so you feel the rise and fall of your abdomen with the breath. And you might like to move your head slowly from side to side like we did at the very beginning of the class. Maybe circle into your wrists, into your ankles. Maybe have a full body stretch. Maybe bringing your knees into your chest and giving yourself a little bit of a hug, rocking from side to side until you're ready to roll over onto one side. And in your own time, come up to meet me sitting with your eyes closed and your hands together in front of the heart space. Simply noticing how you're feeling, the quality of your breath, sensations in the body, sense of the space, the room around you, a sense of the day. And taking a full breath in towards your heart space. And as you breathe out, bowing your head, chin in towards your chest. And when you're ready to breathe in, lift your head gently and open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you very, very much for joining me this morning. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I'm going to give you the option of saying hello if you would like to